how to work with variables in the playbooks, what is runtime variable, what is local variable, what is a global variable, what is a host variable that we have discussed in the last session. Okay, variables are used to store the values. Variables are used to store the values. So when we are writing a playbook, we can declare the variables in the playbook in order to pass the value dynamically. In order to pass the value dynamically, we can declare the variables in the playbook. Now you see here, I have taken a playbook. This playbook contains a variable called package name. When my playbook is having a variable like this, I can supply the value to this variable in the runtime. That means when I am executing this playbook, I can supply the value to that variable. We can define variables within the playbook also. When your playbook is having a variable, you can supply the value to the variable when you are going to run the playbook. In the runtime, you can supply the value to the variable, or we can define variables within the playbook also. For example, if I specify var's package name is equal to httpd, that means within the playbook itself, I'm defining this variable. Then it will become local. But here we have a special requirement. As we discussed in the yesterday session, I am writing a host inventory file which is having 172.168.10.1, okay, and 172.168.10.2, 172.168.10.3, 172.168.10.4, and I'm taking 172.168.10.5, 172.168.10.6. Like this, I have created several machines. Now I grouped them in my inventory file web servers. One is not part of any group. So this is my host inventory file. This is my host inventory file. Host inventory file. Host inventory. In the Ansible, host inventory file nothing but the file which contains all our host nodes details. Okay. Now here I am going to write a playbook to install a software in my host nodes. I'm going to write a playbook. Here I'm specifying hosts as all. Inside this, I'm specifying tasks. Here I'm specifying name, install software. Here I'm specifying yum. Here I'm specifying name as some package name. I'm specifying the name as a package name. Okay. State I'm specifying as present. State I'm specifying as present. This is my playbook. Playbook will start with the 3 hyphens. Playbook will start with 3 hyphens. Okay, this is my playbook. Now I want to execute this playbook. For this playbook, we can give you a name, install.yml, install package.yml. For a playbook, I'm creating a playbook with a name called install package.yml. Now, can I run this playbook like this? Ansible playbook space install package.yml. Is it valid syntax to execute this playbook, or it is invalid to execute this playbook? Guys, come on. Can I execute a playbook like this, or I cannot execute a playbook like this? I cannot execute it because this playbook contains a variable. Did I declare that variable anywhere? Did I declare that variable anywhere? I cannot execute. That variable is not available. Variable is not available. How many ways we can declare the variables in the Ansible, guys? How many ways we can declare variables in the Ansible? You can pass the variable in the runtime. You can declare the variable within the playbook. You can declare a group variable. You can declare a host variable. You can declare a group variable. You can declare a host variable. We can deal with, we can declare the variables in, we can deal with, we can work with variables in 4 ways. We can work with variables in 4 ways. One is pass variable in runtime. Pass variable in runtime. Second one, declare variable within playbook. Declare group variable. Declare group variable. Declare host variable. Declare group variable and declare host variable. So in the Ansible, we can work with variables in 4 ways. Pass the variable in runtime while executing playbook. While executing playbook. While executing playbook, you can supply the value for the variable in the runtime. Okay. Or else you can declare a variable within the playbook, or you can declare a variable in the group, or you can declare a variable in the host. Guys, see here, inventory location. What is our inventory location? Our inventory will be available inside /etc/Ansible. Ansible. Here, our hosts will be available. This is host inventory location. This is called as our host inventory location. Now, here you can create one folder /etc/Ansible/group_vars. You can create /group_vars, and another one you can create /etc/Ansible host vars. You can create group vars location, group vars location, and host vars location. If you want to declare with the group, if you want to use group variables, group vars location, group vars location, and host vars location. Wherever our inventory file is available, in that location only, we need to create the group variables folder, and we need to declare our host variables folder. Group variables folder will be available. Group variables folder will be available. We can create a folder with a name called all.yml. In this location, you can create all.yml, or you can create webservers.yml, or you can create dbservers.yml. So like this, you can specify, like that you can specify your group variables related files. You can specify group variables related files in this location. All.yml, webservers.yml, or dbservers.yml, you can specify there. You can specify there. Coming to host variables, here you can specify 172.168.10.3. Only for this particular server, I want to declare some particular variable. Then you can go for like this. Okay, like this you can work with variables in the Ansible. Now observe, I have a host inventory. All the host machines are specified in the host inventory file. So this particular host is not belongs to any group. So this host is called as ungrouped host. That is not part of any group. The 234 IPs are belongs to web server group. 56 IP addresses are belongs to DB server group. I want to install different software in the different servers. Now I'm going for a playbook. I'm writing a playbook to install a software. Package name, I am not a hard coding here. Package name I have specified as a variable, because in the web servers I want to install Git software. In the DB servers I want to install the zip software. In the web servers, I want to install Git software. In the DB servers, I want to install the zip software. So instead of hard coding the variable value, I'm going to use variables. Okay, if I use a variable within the playbook, that will be applicable for all the hosts. No, I want to change the variable value from group to group. For web servers, the variable value should be zip. For the DB servers, variable value should be Git or zip, something like that. They are different software. So now, whatever the software you want to use for the web servers group, you can declare that web servers group variable inside this web servers.yml, where this web servers.yml should be created inside the group vars location, inside the group vars, where the group vars folder should be created, wherever our host inventory is available. In that host inventory, we need to create this group vars folder. In that, we are creating all.yml, web servers.yml, db servers.yml. So for web servers, for all the web servers, you can keep a variable in the web server.yml. For all the DB servers, you can keep the variable in the db servers.yml. For all the web servers, I want to use one value, but a specific requirement only for a particular server called 10.3, I want to use a different variable. So if you want to declare a variable for particular group of servers, you can go for group variables. If you want to declare a variable for particular host machine, then you can go for host variable. To deal with the host variables, in the inventory location, you need to create a folder with a name called hostware, groupware, hostware. Inside the hostware, with your host IP, create one YML file. In that YML file, you can declare the variable. Are you guys clear with my point? Host inventory file can be with any name. No, host inventory file name is /host. It is the name of the file. You cannot change that. You cannot change that. Are you clear with this one? How to deal with variables in the Ansible? Are you clear with this? How to deal with variables in the Ansible? Group variables and host variables. Group variables and host variables. Did you guys practice it? Did you guys practice it? How to deal with group variables and host variables? Yeah, host variables should be created inside this folder. There should be a host vars folder. How you created a folder for the group vars? Similarly, you need to create the folder for host var. Akil, you need to create the host variable inside the host-vars, host_vars folder. A directory should be created. Group vars directory, host vars directory should be created separately. Okay, cool. Next one, let's go to our AWS. Let's go to our AWS. Login into AWS account. Let's launch our EC2 instances, Ansible server node and Ansible host node, Ansible server node, Ansible host node, instance state. Let's start them. Let's start them. I have given the location, how you need to create group vars, how you need to create host vars. Group vars should be created inside the group vars directory. Host vars should be created inside the host vars directory. For the group vars, your file name should be same as the group variable group name which you mentioned in the host inventory. Your host var file should be same as your host IP address. With that name you have to create. Perfect. Now instances are running. Instance state is equal to running. So now you can see my EC2 instances are running. One is my server node. Another one is a host node. Connected to the server node, go to mobile extreme software. Go to mobile extreme session, SSH, remote host, specify username as ec2-user, SSH settings, private key. Yep, let me go to key pair. I have selected. Now clear sudo su Ansible. I switch it to Ansible user. Let me go to Ansible directory. Present working directory is Ansible. Who am I? I am Ansible user. ls-l. You can see all my playbooks are available. All my playbooks are available. Okay. Yesterday we worked with one playbook which is called var demo, var-demo.yml. Now you see that in this var-demo.yml, I have a variable name which is called package name. Is this variable available here? Is this variable available here? This variable is not available here. This variable is not available here. Now, where is the variable available for this? Variable is available cd/etc/ansible ls-l. Here you can see ansible.cfg file available, group vars folder is available, host file is available. If you go to vi host, now my inventory file contains web servers group. In that web servers group, my host node is configured. My host node is configured. ls-l group vars. Can you see the group vars? Inside the group vars, all.yml available, dbservers.yml, web servers yml, vi all.yml, vi all.yml. There is nothing available here. There is nothing available here. vi web servers.yml, vi web servers.yml, not available anything here. Next one, vi dbservers.yml, not available here. Okay, package name is not available. Can we configure the package name in the web servers YML or in the all.yml? You can configure sudo vi all.yml. So here I'm going to configure package name as httpd. I'm going to configure package name as httpd. Package name as httpd. Now vi all.yml. Can you see the package name is available as httpd? Can we see that package name is available as httpd? Yes, package name is available as httpd. It is available in all.yml. It is available in the all.yml. All.yml. vi all.yml. Package name is httpd. Very good. Now go back to our location ls-l. Currently we are in the Ansible directory. Let's go to cd space/home/Ansible ls-l. Execute var demo yml Ansible playbook space var demo.yml. I'm trying to execute a playbook. Variable is not available in the playbook. Variable I am not passing in the runtime. Variable is taking from group variable. Variable is taking from the group variable. Okay, it installed that package and it started that service also. Okay, fine guys. Okay, fine. If you observe, here we are declaring the variables and its values inside our group variables ls-l cd space group vars ls-l vi all.yml vi all.yml. We declared some package names. Okay, currently package name means no problem. Suppose if we are dealing with usernames and passwords, suppose I'm dealing with some secret data. Username, password. Is it recommended to configure usernames and passwords in the variable files directly like this? Is it recommended to configure the variables values directly like this? Usernames and passwords can we configure here? If I configure username and password directly here, what is the problem? If I configure username and password in the variables directly, what is the problem? Anybody can see them. So do you want everybody to see the variable values, or we need to keep some security for that? We need to keep some security for that. Currently, I'm declaring a variable package name colon HTTPD. They can see this package name. They can see this package name. They can see this package name. I don't want everybody to see. I don't want everybody to see my variables file. I want to secure my variables file because I can configure some usernames and passwords which are required for my playbook. I'm going to configure some username and password which are required for my playbook executions. It is not recommended to configure the passwords directly inside the variable files or inside the playbooks. Okay. Now, if I declare a variable inside the playbook, if I hardcode the password inside the playbook, is it secured? Is it secured to write a variable username and password in the playbook, or it is not secured to write the username and password in the playbook? It is not secured to write the usernames and passwords in the playbook. We are going to declare the variables and passwords inside the variable files. Inside the variable files, we are going to write. For example, I have a file called all.yml, cat all.yml. Inside the cat all.yml, whatever the package name I configured, it is readable. Everybody can see. Whatever the content I write in the variable file, everybody can see that. I don't want everybody to see the data in the variable file like this. I want to keep some security for this. I want to keep some security for this. In order to keep the security for this, there is a concept in the Ansible which is called Ansible Vault. What is the concept here, guys? What is the concept available to secure our variable files? What is the concept available to secure our information in the Ansible? Ansible Vault is available. Ansible Vault is used to, it is used to, it is used to secure, it is used to secure our data. It is used to secure our data. When we configure, when we configure, when we configure usernames and passwords in variables files, everybody can see them. Everybody can see them, which is not a good practice. Which is not a good practice. When we are dealing with sensitive data, when we are dealing with when we are dealing with sensitive data, then we should secure that. We should secure that data. To secure our data, we are going to use Ansible Vault. Using Ansible Vault, using Ansible Vault concept, we can protect or secure our data. So now here we are using variables to variable files. We are using all.yml, webservers.yml, dbservers.yml, like that. We are using some files to store our data. When we have a data in a file, we want to secure. Okay. So in order to secure the files, we are going to use Ansible Vault create file name.yml. We can create a file with a Ansible Vault. Ansible Vault create file name.yml. Ansible Vault encrypt that file. Ansible Vault view that file. Ansible Vault edit that file. Ansible Vault decrypt that file. Ansible Vault rekey that file. So like this, there are several commands are available. By using these commands, which are provided by the Ansible Vault, we can secure our data. When we are dealing with Ansible, we can secure our data by using Ansible Vault concept. By using Ansible vault concept, we can secure our data. Okay, let me show you how to deal with this. Let me show you how to deal with this. I am going to create one file by using Ansible vault. Ansible vault create is the option we have. Create test.yml. Ansible vault create test.yml. It is asking vault password. I'm giving a password for that. Confirm password. Okay. Now in this YML file, we can write the data. We can write the data. Package name colon HTTPD. Package colon HTTPD. Okay. Permission denied for that. Okay, that we need to go to sudo permission so that Ansible vault create test.yml, or else let me do this. Ansible vault create all.yml. Password, I'm giving some password. I am confirming my password. All.yml exists, please use edit instead of it. Okay. Sudo su. Okay, now Ansible vault create demo.yml. Oh, sudo su Ansible. Sudo su Ansible vault create Ansible vault create demo.yml. It is asking vault password. I am giving vault password. Confirm new vault password. I'm confirming. It is asking me to enter some data. Okay. Insert package name colon HTTPD. To see the full use -v, this is probably bug. Permission denied for demo.yml. Ansible vault encrypt. Ansible vault encrypt all.yml. Vault password I'm giving. Confirm vault password I'm giving. Permission denied. Why it is not taking to Ansible vault encrypt all.yml. I'm trying to encrypt this YML file. It is asking me to give the vault password. I'm giving a password, confirming the password. Let me create some file simply. Cat some demo.yml. I'm writing package name colon HTTPD. Right. Now I have demo.yml. I'm using Ansible vault encrypt demo.yml. Password, vault password. Yeah, encryption successful. Now guys, can you see here? We are having a command that is called encrypt command directly. Whatever the file we have, for that file, we are directly doing encryption. Now I have done the encryption for demo.yml. Now, can you see demo.yml, cat demo.yml? Can you read the content of the demo.yml? whatever the content I stored in the demo.yml, can you read the content of the demo.yml file now? Can you read that content or you cannot read that content? We cannot read that content. Why we cannot read the content available in the demo.yml? Why we cannot read the content available in the demo.yml? It is secured. Let me show you once again. Here I'm creating one file, guys, with a name called, I'm creating one file with a name called 1.yml. In that file, I'm storing username as Ashok, password Ashok @123. Okay, D. Now, cat 1.yml. Can you see the content available in the 1.yml? Can you guys see the content available in the 1.yml? Can anybody see this content? The people who is having the access for the system, anybody can see the content available in the 1.yml. To see the content, I'm using cat command, or you can go for vi 1.yml. The content is clearly displaying. Anybody can read this content. That is my username and password related to one playbook. That is related to one playbook, username, password I'm writing. If I store this username and password in the YML file directly like this, it is not at all recommended. It is not at all recommended. Then how can we encrypt this data? By using Ansible Vault. What is the command? Ansible Vault encrypt. Whatever the file is available, I'm going to encrypt that file 1.yml. Ansible Vault encrypt 1.yml. When I'm encrypting, it is asking me vault password. How you want to encrypt? Keep one password for this encryption. I'm choosing one password. It is asking me confirm the password. It is asking me to confirm the password. Encryption successful. Once this encryption is successful, can you cat this file? Cat 1.yml. Can you read what is the content available in the 1.yml? Can you read the content available in the 1.yml? Or you cannot read the content available in the 1.yml? We cannot read the content available in the 1.yml because I have encrypted that. I have encrypted that. Suppose, for example, let's go for Ansible Vault. Ansible Vault view 1.yml. If I want to view the file, if I want to view that file, it is asking me vault password. I have given my password. When I give the password, am I able to see the data? Am I able to see the data, original data back? How I am able to see the original data back? By using which command? By using view command. You see here, Ansible Vault encrypt. So here, to encrypt a playbook, we will use this Ansible encrypt. We can encrypt that playbook or we can encrypt that variable file. Ansible Vault to view. Ansible Vault to view, which is used to see the content of the file, which is used to see the content of that file. Okay, so now when I'm executing Ansible Vault view 1.yml, what is happening? Is it opening the file directly? No. If you want to see that file with original data, we need to go for Ansible Vault view. It is asking the password. I kept one password now. I'm giving that password. When I give that password, are we able to access the data back? Yes, we are able to access that data back. Suppose, for example, I want to edit that file. Let's go for vi 1.yml. When I go for editor, is it displaying a normal data or it is displaying encrypted data? I want to change my username. I want to change my username. Can I go with vi command? Can I go with vi command to edit that file? No. If I go with vi command, what is happening? Is it displaying a original data or it is displaying a encrypted data? It is displaying my encrypted data. So this is not the right way to, this is not the right way to edit that file. In order to edit the encrypted file, we have a command called edit command. We have a command called edit command. See here, Ansible Vault edit 1.yml. It is asking the password. Enter that password. Now can you see original data displayed in the edit mode? Now I can change my password. Insert mode, Ashok IT is my password. Now let me save it. Let me save it. Okay. Now let's do cat 1.yml. It is in the encrypted mode. Let's go for Ansible Vault View. I just want to see the data. 1.yml vault password. See, password, vault password I have given. Username is updated. That is Ashok IT is available. So here there are commands. Encrypt command available, which is used to encrypt a file. View command, if you want to see the original content of that file. Edit command, which is used to edit the content of original content if you want to edit. If you want to decrypt that file, then you can go for decryption. Ansible vault decrypt 1.yml. It is asking your password. Decryption successful. When I do the decrypt, my file will contain original data. If you encrypt, that data will be encrypted. If you want to convert that encrypted file to the original file, then you are going to use decrypt command. Now there is a command called rekey. Rekey is available. If you want to change the vault password, then you can go for rekey. Ansible vault rekey of 1.yml. Now vault password test, new password test 123, confirm new password test 123. Okay, it is not a encrypted vault. If you want to encrypt it, then you can encrypt and you can rekey that. You can encrypt and you can rekey that. So you understand what is this encrypt command? To encrypt our YML file. To encrypt our YML file, we are using encrypt command. View to see encrypted, to see original data, to see original data from encrypted file. Now edit, to edit the data in original format. To edit data in original format, we are going for this. Vault decrypt, it is used to decrypt the file which is encrypted. To decrypt the file, to decrypt the file, bringing the file to normal state. Bring the file to normal state. Bring the file to normal state. We can do this. Rekey, to change vault password. To change vault password, we can go for rekey command. Now, can you guys read this? What is Ansible vault? Can you guys read this? What is Ansible vault? Ansible vault is used to secure our data. When we configure username and passwords in variable files, everybody can see them, which is not a good practice. When we are dealing with sensitive data, then we should secure that data. Okay, using Ansible vault, we can protect or secure our data. So now Ansible vault commands. Ansible vault commands. So what are the commands available? What are the commands available here? Ansible vault encrypt, which is used to encrypt our YML file. Ansible vault edit. Ansible vault edit. What is the purpose of Ansible vault edit? It is used to edit the file. Ansible vault to view the original data from the encrypted file, right? Decrypt, which is used to bring the file to normal state. To bring the file to normal state, we are going to use decrypt. If you want to change the password of the vault password of the file, then you can go for rekey command. Can you read these commands? Can you read these commands? Vault encrypt, vault view, vault edit, vault decrypt, vault rekey. To encrypt a playbook, we need to set one vault password. While executing the playbook, we need to pass the vault password. Ansible playbook filename.yml, it will ask for the vault password. It will ask for the vault password. Like this, you can execute them. You can execute them. Okay. Good. Guys, do you understand what is vault concept in the Ansible? Ansible vault is used to secure our data. So in order to encrypt a file, we can go for Ansible Vault encrypt command. It is used to encrypt. View to see the original data from the encrypted file. It will ask for the vault password. To edit the data in the original format, we have edit command. To bring the file to normal state, we have a decrypt command. To change the vault password, we have a rekey command. Now, when we encrypt that file, so if you want to execute the playbook, so you can supply the playbook password, vault password, you can write a command, ask vault password. You can store the vault password in a file and you can give that vault password file as an input also while executing the playbook. We can see the encrypted file in the human readable format as we discussed the view command. So we can see and edit that file by using edit command. We can decrypt the file by using decrypt command. To decrypt the file, we will use a decrypt command. To update the vault password, we can use a concept called rekey concept. We can use a concept called rekey concept to update that password. Clear? Are you comfortable with this Ansible Vault? Are you comfortable with the Ansible Vault? Yes. Next one. Guys, there is a concept called handlers and tags in the Ansible. There is a concept called handlers and tags in the Ansible. Now you see my playbook. Host all, become true. That means privilege escalation, gather facts, whereas I'm declaring a variable package name as HTTPD. Task, install HTTPD package name. Package name I'm specifying within the playbook itself. Copy index HTML, this is clear. Now here to start the HTTPD server, I'm writing one task inside the handler. That means I'm not going to execute this server start normally. I'm doing a notify. When this task is executed, when this task status is changed, then a notify start HTTPD server. So here I am writing this start server as a handler. That means manually, once this task is executed successfully, then only I am going to notify that handler to execute. Notify the handler to execute. Okay, let me take this playbook which is having handler. Let me take this playbook which is having handler. Right. Take this playbook which is having handler. Clear. Vi handler dot yml. Vi handler dot yml. Now my playbook is having a handler. See here, handlers I have specified a name, start HTTPD server, service, name, package name, state, started. Here, if you see the task, one task is there to install HTTPD, another task is available to copy index.html, then notify start HTTP server. Then whenever this copy is successful, then only it is going to notify that start HTTP server, that is under handler. So this second task is calling the handler by using notify syntax. Okay, let me execute it. Ansible playbook handler.yml double hyphen syntax check. Okay, handler.yml, this file is invalid. Syntax error while loading this YML. Package name vi handler.yml. Where is the mistake, guys? Yeah, here this should be available in the double quotes. Variable name should be available in double quotes. vi.handler. Okay, now let's execute the syntax check once again. Name debug message, having some mistake. Vi handler.yml debug message copy completed, tags debug and install. Let me take the tags out, guys. Let's talk about them later. right? Debug message. Copy notify name message handlers, right? Can you see what is the error? The error conflicting action statement message handlers. The error appears to be in handler YML, line number 19, column number 7. But maybe elsewhere in the file, the appending lines appears to be start HTTP server. Guys, can you see what is the issue here? Handler is having small issue. Name debug message. Copy index.html. Let me remove this handler concept. Host all become true. Gather facts no. Variables I have declared. Tasks. In the task I have a name. Install HTTPD. Yum. Package name. State is present. Then name. Copy index HTML. Copy task. SRC. Destination. Then name start HTTP server. Service module. Name state started. This looks great. Yeah. Now it is working. So when I specify the handler, it is not taking that handler. When I'm specifying this inside handlers. No. Fine guys, I will check this handler. So it is not considering this. So what is the issue? I will check that point. So here basically when one task got executed, then we can notify other task to execute. I don't want to execute all the tasks in the sequence manner. When one task got executed successfully like this now, for example, if this copy task is executed successfully, then I want to notify that other task should be executed, which is used to start the HTTP server. When one task is executed successfully, to notify the other task, we are going to use a concept called a handler. Here, if a copy task is executed successfully, then I can notify to start the HTTP server. HTTP server is available as a another task. Now, first task is install the HTTPD. Second task is copy the index.html. If the second task status is changed, that means if this task is executed, then I want to notify to execute this handler. If the second task status is not changed, then I'm not going to execute this another task by using handler concept. So syntactically, it is not accepting when I write the handler. I will see what is the issue. So in tomorrow session, I will discuss how to work with that handler concept. Okay. Good. Handlers. One second, it got hanged. Vi handler dot yml. Handlers, I'm writing here. No, it is not considering that, guys. So there is small issue. I think need to look into that. Why the handlers are not accepting here? Handlers, I'm writing in the same line where the tasks are starting. It is not accepting it. One line this side. Let me try this. Yep. Handlers are executing. Handlers are available in the same place where the tasks are available. Check the syntax. This time it's successed. Okay, we are able to write this handlers. Handlers are starting in the same line where my task is getting started. Now I want to notify this handler should be executed. This handler should be executed when my second task got executed successfully. Notify. So now how I am going to notify to execute this? How I am going to notify to execute this? After this copy task got completed, I want to notify. I want to notify what is the task name? Start HTTPD server. Start HTTPD server. Check the syntax now. It appears to be a tab character at the start of the line. Tab should be replaced with the space. Okay. One second. Let me go to edit mode. Start start HTTPD server. Is it valid? Start HTTPD server. Notify. This is the name. Start HTTPD server I'm giving. Okay. Syntax check. No. Yes. Now it executed. Let me try Ansible playbook handler.yml. Guys, handler is executed. Handler is not executed. Handler is executed or handler is not executed here. Handler is executed or handler is not executed. Handler is not executed. Handler not executed. Why the handler is not executed? Can you tell me why the handler is not executed? This task status is not changed. Okay, that means the second task is not executed properly. That's why it is not executed. Let me do one thing. Vi index.html. Let me modify this file and h2 hyd location of h2. Okay, now execute this playbook. Huh. Guys, see the difference? Earlier handler executed, not executed, but now handler is executed or not executed. See the difference? When I executed my playbook, for first time, the handler is executed or a handler is not executed. Can you observe? Install httpd executed, copy index html is executed, but a handler is not executed. Why handler is not executed? Handler is part of which task? Handler is getting notified as part of copy index.html. Now, if you see index.html task status is changed or it is okay. Okay means whatever the index.html file we have in our Ansible host machine, whatever is available in the control machine, both are same. So the file is not copied once again. This second task is not changed. That is the reason handler not executed. So here I'm telling to copy the index.html, which is available in my control machine to the host machine. Yesterday, we have already copied the index.html. There is no change. When I have executed my playbook for the first time, there is no change in the index.html. That is the reason index.html task status is just okay. That means this task is not executed. There is no change. There is no change. As there is no change in this task, it has not called the handler. So that's why what I have done, I have edited my index.html. I modified some content. When I have modified my content, that file is copied. Then if the file is copied successfully, then the task status is changed. When the task status is changed, what happened? It called the handler. It notified the handler. The handler is executed. Handler started the server. Are you getting my point? What is the purpose of handler? If one task status is changed, then I want to notify to execute the another task. Otherwise, I don't want to execute it. Something like this, man. If somebody knocked our door, then only we will open the door. Are you able to follow this? If some action is there, then only there will be a reaction. Similarly, if a second task is executed successfully with the status as it changed, then only I want to execute the third task. If second task status is changed, then I want to notify to execute my third task. So if you want to execute a task based on the notification, then you will go for handler concept. Now, I will execute my playbook once again. This time, handler will execute or handler will not execute. Handler is executed or handler is not executed now. Handler is executed now or handler is not executed. Handler is not executed. Why this handler is not executed? Can you tell me why the handler is not executed? Is there any change in the notifier? Is there any change in the file to copy? What is the status of this second task, copy index HTML? Changes are not there. If the changes are not there, if the changes are not there in the HTML file, do you really need to restart the server? When your server should be restarted? When we need to restart our server, guys? If there is a change in the website file, then only I want to restart the server. Otherwise, I don't want to restart the server. If there is a change in the HTML file, then only I want to notify the handler. Then only the handler will execute to start my server, to restart my server. Otherwise, no need of that. So if I don't have this notify concept, if I don't have the notify and handler, for example, if I don't have this concept, then what will happen here? Can you tell me? I have three tasks: install HTTPD, copy the index HTML, start the server. So if I write a playbook like this, what will happen? If I write a playbook like this, what is going to happen, guys? Can you tell me? First task will execute, second task will execute, third task also will execute. But tell me, do we really need to execute the third task if there is no change in the file? If there is no change in the file, do we really need to execute the third task? Not required. So now you understand when we need to go for handler concept in the Ansible. What is the purpose of handler in the Ansible? If you want to execute a task based on the other task status, then you can go for a handler. Now, if this second task executed with the status has changed, then I want to notify to execute the third task. If this second task status is not changed, then I don't want to execute my third task. For that, I am going to write the handler. Here I am writing a handler. In this handler, what is available? In this handler, what is available? Start the HTTP server. When this handler will be called, if this is notified, when this will be notified, if this second task status is changed, then only it is going to notify this. Based on this notification, this handler is going to execute. Now, observe carefully. Practically, we can see this. Clear? Vi handlers.yml. Sorry, a different file. Handler.yml. Now, this is my playbook. Task: install HTTPD. This is one task. It is going to install HTTPD package. This is the second task, which is used to copy the index HTML from my Ansible machine to host machine. Then notify. If this second task status is just okay, that means I don't want to start the server. If this second task status is changed, then only I want to notify to handler start HTTP server, notify HTTP server. If the second task status got changed, then this handler is going to execute. Okay, then come back. See here, Ansible playbook space handler.yml. See the task execution. See the task execution. Task install HTTPD. Okay, status is not changed. Why? HTTP is already installed in the host machine, so no need to install once again. Just okay. Copy index HTML. Already we copied. There is no change in the file. This is also not changed. Just okay. As the status is not changed for the copy task, handler is not called. Handler is not called. Now let me edit this file vi index.html. Let me change some content. Let me change some content. Hyderabad location, Amirpet. Okay, I have changed the content of my file. I changed the content of my file. Now execute the playbook. Execute the playbook. Now can you see? Can you see? Copy index HTML status is changed. As the copy index HTML task status is changed, then it is running the handler. You got the clarity? practically when to go for handler, when the handler will be executed. If one task status is changed, then I want to notify to execute another task. Then you will go for handler concept. Then you can go for handler concept. Clear, guys? Fine, perfect. Let me give you this handler.yml. Yes, now this is valid syntax. If this task status is changed, then only notify this, then only this handler will be executed. Now there is another concept called tags concept is available, guys. So tags concept is nothing but I don't want to execute all the tasks. I want to give some tag for every task. I want to execute a particular task in the playbook. For that, we will use a tag concept. Now for this task, I will give you a tag. For this task, I will give you a tag. For this task, I will give you a tag. If you have a tag for a task, you can execute only that particular task by using tag. To display all the tags available in the playbook, we can go for list tags. I want to execute only install tag. I want to skip all the tags. Like this, there are some commands available. So in the tomorrow session, I'm going to tell you how to work with this tags concept. So tomorrow I'm going to tell you how to work with tags concept. Now, what are the pending tasks, pending things that are available in the Ansible? We need to talk about tags in playbook, tags in playbook. Then we need to talk about Ansible roles, and we need to talk about Ansible tower. So these are the three things are pending. I will try to cover these three topics in the tomorrow session. Mostly we will complete Ansible tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So from my side, these three things are pending. How to work with the tags in the Ansible playbooks, what are the roles in the Ansible, what is the Ansible tower. So these are the three things we are going to discuss tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So please practice what we have discussed so far, how to write the playbooks in the Ansible, how to work with group variables, host variables, how to work with Ansible Vault, which is very important for encryption and decryption, and how to work with handlers. So tomorrow we are going to see how to work with the tags and how to work with the roles and how to work with Ansible tower. Okay, fine guys. Thank you. We'll continue in tomorrow's session. Good night.